The first thing that shattered wasn't glass, it was the lie. A single violin string snapped mid-cadenza, a high, metallic ping that cut through the rooftop quartet like a scalpel. Every tuxedoed guest froze, mid-sip of their elderflower martinis. I alone knew why the music died. Across the terrace, under the glow of paper lanterns, my father's hand was inside Aunt Lila's backless dress, fingers tracing the spine of the woman who'd taught me to tie my shoes. I was 24, gripping a silver tray of canapés so hard the pastry cracked. This was their 40th renewal vow ceremony, Mom's vision of champagne fountains and vintage Polaroids. Dad had chartered the rooftop from a boutique hotel. Lila had curated the guest list. Curated, it turned out, included herself in every dark corner. Mom floated among the hydrangeas in champagne silk, laughing at a councilman's joke. She hadn't seen. Or had she? I started toward her when her gaze snagged mine across the crowd. She tilted her flute a millimeter, patience and mouthed, "Watch the sky." The quartet recovered with a breezy bossa nova, Dad's ringtone from college. He was supposed to renew vows at sunset. Instead, he whispered into Lila's ear, her laugh a private bell only he could ring. My tray trembled. I set it on a ledge before the eclairs slid. Mom ascended the small dais as if the city lights were her spotlight. The skyline hushed. 40 years, she said, voice warm bourbon, is long enough to learn which secrets keep a marriage alive, and which ones kill it slowly. A nervous chuckle fluttered. Dad's smile calcified. Lila's necklace glinted like a noose. Mom's eyes found them, gentle as a sniper. To revelations that arrive fashionably late. She drank. The city drank. The toast tasted like smoke. Later, while guests dissected the subtext over truffle fries, Mom folded linen napkins into perfect cranes. I cornered her by the dessert tower. Since when? She didn't pause. Since the first lie wore my lipstick. A beat. Some truths need witnesses, honey. Private apologies are just rehearsals. Dad tried the midnight confession in the hotel suite. Lighting was bad, he muttered. Misread signals. Mom handed him a bottled water. Hydrate, Julian. Tomorrow's script is longer. I braced for war at sunrise, screaming, shredded vows, shattered frames. Instead, Mom brewed cold brew in a linen jumpsuit, sunlight striping the suite like barcode. Dad nursed hangovers and excuses. She slid her tablet across the marble. Page 3. Your Cayman Shell Company trended on Fintwit. His cup clattered. You. I diversified, she corrected. Turns out fidelity isn't the only asset you've been liquidating. He fled. Mom checked her watch. He'll bolt to her penthouse. Let him. I tagged the Tesla. That dusk, I shadowed her to a glass-walled co-working space. Lila's husband, Theo, owned a forensic accounting firm. Mom laid 3 stills on his desk, Dad and Lila, caught in the elevator mirror, her leg hooked around his waist. Theo's pen snapped. Mom slid over an encrypted drive. Metadata intact. Use it if he contests. Theo exhaled. You're scarily serene. Panic is his currency, she said. I trade him proof. Back at the hotel, Dad stumbled in at 3 a.m., reeking of Lila's oud. Mom offered miso soup. Rough merger? He grunted. She smiled. Eat. You'll need clarity. Dawn brought Theo with a leather satchel thick as contraband. Dad's face cycled through fury, fear, flop sweat. Mom poured oat milk like a sommelier. Marital assets, Julian. Sign, or the elevator footage goes to the SEC, and Lila's spin class. He signed. The pen bled blue. Mom vacated by noon, into a loft above a jazz bar with exposed brick and a balcony that caught every sunrise. She painted the door coral and hung a mobile of shattered violin strings that chimed when storms brewed. Dad kept the suburb, she kept her spine and 60% of the portfolio. The elevator clip leaked, someone's cloud, someone's DM, someone's schadenfreude. By Tuesday, Dad's board voted indefinite leave. Lila and Theo divorced by a mediator, she relocated to Lisbon to reinvent. Translation, anywhere but Wi-Fi. Dad appeared at the loft one foggy Saturday, drenched and diminished. Mom offered matcha on the balcony. They spoke of succulents, my grad school essays, the price of silence. When he left, he said, I was a coward. She replied, cowards can still evolve. Start with mirrors. 8 months later, autumn arrived early. Mom's balcony overflowed with Japanese maples. She taught haiku at the women's shelter, funneled her settlement into a microloan fund for single moms, and mailed Dad's old cufflinks back, engraved, Return to Regret. One Tuesday, a postcard arrived in Dad's shaky handwriting. Mom read it on the fire escape, city lights flickering below. He's in Nova Scotia now, she told me. Building boats. Says the tide erases footprints faster than apologies. She folded the card into a paper crane and released it into the wind. It spiraled, vanished. That night, she melted her wedding band in a potter's kiln. The gold pooled, cooled, became a tiny origami crane mid-flight. She strung it on leather around my wrist. For when you need reminding, she said, that cages are optional. The city still hums, but the narrative flipped. They don't gossip about the affair anymore. They talk about the woman who dismantled a 40-year empire with the precision of a watchmaker and walked away lighter. Mom never raised her voice once. She didn't need to. Truth has its own echo. If you're cradling a betrayal, hear this, the best revenge isn't ruin. It's becoming someone the liar can't monetize, and realizing your worth was never their currency. The best part isn't the collapse. It's the ascent, wings forged from what they thought would break you, sky finally yours.